Is there volume? Is there volume? Yep. Right, okay, that's muted. Okay, so back to this screen. Okay. So I've put the I'll put the Zoom link in the chat. So it's there. Yeah. Ignore the old one. I meant to remove it, but I've got to do it. I will do it as soon as. So welcome to the Zoom stream through YouTube. Pleased to be here. I do this stream through Zoom on YouTube every Wednesday. Is it evening? Afternoon? At 5:00 p.m. UK time. If I won't be here, I will post a post on Facebook. But yeah, I try to be here at this time every week. So welcome. You can join the Zoom by using the link in the chat box, and you can ask questions and speak, or use the Zoom chat, or you can use the chat and watch through YouTube. Yeah, so welcome. I did a live talk recently, and I forgot how lovely it is to do a live talk with an audience as opposed to doing it on the Zoom. I love doing it on the internet, but also forgot how lovely it is to do it in person and to yeah, speak about non-duality. So today's talk is called Never Not Here. It was very last minute. It was a very last minute title decision. So welcome. My mouth is dry. So this is the most beautiful part of non-duality. The most beautiful part. People can critique this message, the subject, and there are some things that could be critiqued about it. But the most beautiful part of this message the shining light of this message, of this communication, of this subject, of this way of speaking, is that it's not in time. That's the best part of this message, is that it's not in time. And that's what resonates, I think, with people when they hear this. They may have critiques about it or issues with it, but I think the one thing that they can't dispute, this resonance they can't dispute, is the beauty of it, that what's being spoken about isn't in time. I think that's what resonates here a lot, is that it's not in time. Even when I first heard this message, what was like, what pulled me into it or resonated with me was this not in timeness. So what I mean by that is the person, the mind, the story of you is something that is in time. It can only be in time, in past or in future. And so any story of me having or not having is clearly coming from time. This identity of someone is in time. And whether it's saying I have or I don't have, I can do or I can't do, whatever opposite duality it's saying is actually irrelevant. It is in time. And so that's what stands out in this message, is that it completely is independent of time. What is being spoken about is free of time, and therefore it always is. It can't not be. It didn't begin, it won't end. Something that always is, independent of what is seemingly happening, what stories are being told, what perceptions are happening. This is something beyond that. and it's right here. Like all those things are appearing in it. All those things appear. They appear and disappear, that they seemingly happen. But there's something that is not happening. Something that is not bound up in the happenings. And it's simply a shift to that, or a recognition of that, or a dissolving into that, or a revealing of that, a consuming of that. I imagine like a big blob, and it consumes this identity. It's just this big blob taking over. But it's right here, not something you have to earn or work towards. So normally in spirituality, we're working towards something. We are someone and we are working towards something, achieving something, getting something, arriving at something. And that is okay. It really is okay. That's part of the human functioning. That thoughts happen, feelings happen, ideas happen. So I'm not talking about the end of that, actually. When I first heard about this, I thought it was about the end of being human, like the end of the human experience. So I equated the end of the person. There is no one there, meaning, oh, there is no actual, like it was be the end of experience. Yeah, the end of, yeah, I'm not sure what I thought, but it wasn't correct. At least now I don't see it that way. I think you could even say there is a person, but it's that there is a person, but it's not a person. There is a person, but it's not actually a person. Yeah. Sorry, that's some food in there. Or a character, or whatever you want to call it, a personality, that there is still a seeming character, personality, person, but it's not truth. It's not the experience. Like it's not the truth. It's not the experience. Yeah. So it's just this returning back to what you are. Just simply returning back to what you are. Returning back to this simplicity, this naturalness. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions in the either through Zoom or through YouTube chat. Hi, Kelly. I sense, hi, Chris. I sense freedom here. I sense freedom here, but I feel so stupid for not seeing it. But I feel so stupid for not seeing it. I'm not sure you can see it. Like it's not your responsibility to see it. I feel like this could be wrong, but I feel like maybe as a child you felt stupid for other things. You were made to feel stupid for just made to feel stupid. So maybe that's around that. Maybe not, but this isn't your responsibility. This isn't to do with you being able to see it or not see it. Like, you can't see it. You can't see this. You are this. And I know I use you for both things. I use you for the identity, the mind you, but also you meaning this, whatever this is, this empty fullness, this formlessness. It really isn't a personal thing. You can know about, you can see, you can understand, and you can do it earlier or later. If you'd seen it before, you could see it after. It's not about that. This really isn't personal. It's what you already are, beyond you, beyond that functioning of you, beyond that functioning of mind. So you as that identity, as that thought, can't see this. You are merely coming out of this. Thanks. Any idea how the spell separateness is broken? Any idea how the spell separateness is broken? That's a really that's a really difficult, impossible question to answer. Because the spell or the separateness isn't actually true. It isn't actually true. There isn't actually a real separateness. Just the illusion of separateness. There seems to be this separateness. There seems to be this identification that happens where the energy feels identified to thinking, identified to thought. And that gives the impression of someone separate, moving through time, having a separate experience. But ultimately, it's not actually true. And so this message is speaking to that, it's to the not trueness of that. It's saying here, 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 this timelessness. Here, 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 what is happening here, 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 what is happening here, 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 this non-movement, this stillness, here, 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 here. And so in a way that is breaking the spell. That is breaking the spell. This identification, attachment to time, to this illusory you, this personal you, this pointing out of that not being true, that not being the actual experience, that this is what is happening, is. But in terms of you, this storyline, the spell can't be broken for that storyline. That storyline can only be a storyline in time, and therefore not here. And so it's got this idea about it's gonna find freedom, which is what is happening this moment. It's gonna find it in its story in time. And it can't, that's time. It's not gonna find here in time. Here there is no story, here that there is no someone, no separateness. So it's quite funny that non-duality is breaking the spell, but not breaking the spell for that person, for that mind. Like what's that thing where I can't remember now. Like well, what's it? I got a taste for it. What is it like? Trying to find there's someone on a quest trying to find the treasure or something. They're on this quest trying to find the solution to a problem or something like that. And they believe they want to find the treasure, the answer, the solution. They believe they do, but actually they don't, because if they find the treasure, the answer, the whatever it is, the solution, then they disappear. That's the end of their quest. Then there's no purpose for it. It's lost its whole, so it needs to exist by finding, being on the quest, looking for, proclaiming it's looking for something, because it can only exist in doing that. So it's not really a wanting to find, there's a wanting to look and seek, not to find, which is so bizarre, but yeah, like it's so funny and fascinating and mysterious. It just happens, so fascinating. Oh. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay, it doesn't just happen. Like it doesn't happen. Like I could say it already has happened. Like this is it. It's already it. It's not going to happen. It already has. It already is. Yes, the seeking energy, so pointless, perhaps. Let's check on Zoom. No. The seeking energy, so pointless, perhaps. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know to say it's pointless or not pointless. It just is the way it is. It's the way it is. Yeah, I couldn't say it's pointless. It just is the way it is. It just is. Whatever it is. So feel free to join on Zoom if you have any questions or anything. If you'd like to speak. I've been running low on water. This is mind blowing. All my questions, comments come from a me that doesn't want to suffer anymore. I would I would listen to that then. I would listen to that. What is it speaking? Doesn't want to suffer anymore. I would listen to that. I wouldn't ignore that or suppress that. I would listen to that. Air it out. I think when I got into non-duality, I thought it had gone off then. You know, when you hear that if it's spoken quite radically, you kind of want to like go along with the teacher, and you want to please the teacher like you do your parents, and you're trying to be the good student, and you continue to suppress and repress your feelings, your emotions, your suffering, because you don't want to make the teacher angry or something, or you don't want to get it wrong. So yeah, I'd recommend you express all of that, and not try to get it right and be non-dual, but to express that, listen to that. In that it might be telling you what it believes. It might be telling you what the emotional pain is and what it wants to have to feel better. So there could be some juicy things in that. And I don't mean necessarily share it on the internet here, but I just mean maybe you could, yeah, look into that, all that stuff. Thanks for that answer. So do you think shadow work maybe needs to happen before any kind of realization can happen? I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think it can happen either way, in either order. But I would say shadow work is a part of this. It is a part of this because like this is about everything. So you can't box things off and say, I won't touch that, I won't look at that, I won't go into that. Like this is about everything. So in losing that boundary, that border, in losing these ideas of what isn't right and isn't wrong, like losing these ideas and beliefs, this dualistic way of looking at things, that everything's up for exposure, everything's up for delving into, everything's up for, everything's a part of you, everything's a part of this. So it really isn't about playing safe in a corner. It's really gonna rip you open to everything. So yeah, shadow work, meaning shadow being things that you may not acknowledge or even know is there due to repression, or conscious suppression, or things, yeah, just difficult things that you're unconsciously aware of or not wanting to be aware of. those things are a part of this. Those things are a part of this. So as there's this dissolving, this trust and this surrendering and this dissolving back into everything, then everything's up for grabs. Like you can't play safe in this, and that's really a big thing. You know, you want to be non-dual and not look at these other deeper things, but hello, life is everything. You can't stay in this corner, this what's that word, like sterilized corner. It's a mucky affair. The world's a mucky thing. Like it's a really, yeah, all your, yeah. So so I'm not saying you have to do that before there can be this realization. I think it's part and parcel of it. I think it's part and parcel of it. Yeah, it's part and parcel of it. Nothing's off limits. That's why I wouldn't like promote this subject to people. I'm really about that, because I just think it's not appropriate to. If people are interested in this, that's different. They're asking for it, it's different. But to go around promoting it, I'm a bit funny about doing that, because it's not. I love this subject so much, and yet I can't promote it because it's. I think of it as a very serious thing, a deep thing, a very, yeah, can't even think of the word, but it's not a simple, not simple. It's not a small thing. It's not a small thing. Like you're asking for everything. You're asking for freedom. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks. Great answers. Feel like I've been doing radical self-questioning all my life, but guess I'm only allowing safe questions that don't rattle me reality too much. Yeah. But it's not really a stressful thing you have to do. Life is doing this. Life is doing this. It's not on your shoulders to be making sure you're questioning all those difficult things. Life will do it. Trust me, life will do it. Life will do it for you. It's so beautiful. Oh, you're welcome, Chris. Yeah, it's a joy. It really is. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm barely out of water. Okay, so thank you for joining. Thanks for talking, Chris. It really is a pleasure to speak about this. It's a pleasure to speak about this. What we are. What is. Okay, thanks for joining then. Bye.